Hello everyone, Skits here and welcome to episode 19 of Fallout New Vegas Mods Weekly. I hope you enjoyed this video and thank you for watching. The first mod I have for you is probably one of my new favorite mods because it combines two of my favorite games, Titanfall and Fallout. It is called TitanFallout by Hopper31 and Dragbody, and it allows you to summon your own Titan. First thing you have to do though is reach level 30 and choose a perk called a Titan Among Men, and then within 5 seconds you will get a Titan drop marker into your inventory that looks just like that gun that summons nuclear strike if you have Helios 1 activated. After around 1 minute you will get Titan marker charge, and after that you can summon your own either assault or tank Titan. After you will summon it, it will start patrolling the area, or by using Rampant you can make it to follow you just like an usual follower. But that is not all. If you want to try a whole new experience, you can jump into your Titan by pressing E when you're next to it, an animation will play, and then you will get into your Titan. After that you can just control it like you would control yourself. You can use normal mouse to shoot, you can use the primary and secondary weapons. You can use secondary weapon with Q, I think. You can sprint with shift if you're using assault Titan. You can exit it with space, and then you can also self-destruct it just like in normal Titanfall. So the thing I like most about this mod is that it just combines two of my favorite games, like I said, and really brings the Titanfall feeling into the Fallout New Vegas. You really feel like you're in a Titan, in a unbeatable machine, but at the same time it's not really that overpowered, and it fits in Fallout because the Titans look lore friendly. They look just like normal robots would do, except that they are a lot bigger, and they're also very inaccurate, and that is probably one of the few things that bugs me, and that especially assault Titan his LMG is very inaccurate, and it is very hard to shoot enemies with it. So if you think that you will be an unstoppable machine in Titan, then you're mistaken. And I actually kind of like that it is balanced, even though I hope that the gun will be a little bit more precise than that, because right now it's really hard to shoot enemies with it. But otherwise the Titans are pretty cool. Like I said, you can either have assault or tank Titan. I personally liked tank Titan appearance a lot more, just like I like Ogre Titan in Titanfall a lot more than the Atlas one, which is basically the assault class. And also I think that the tank Titan also has a little bit better weapons. The secondary is better, a lot better than the one for assault class, and the primary is a little bit more precise than the one for assault class again. So other than riding your Titan and making it guard or follow you can also repair it with numpad 4. Then you can also switch to either assault or the tank Titan with 9 or 6. And also if your Titan gets destroyed, which shouldn't really happen, I personally did not happen to me in a battle, you will get another one within 35 minutes. So you'll actually have to wait for quite a long time, but I think that's a pretty balanced cooldown because the Titans are pretty strong, not overpowered, but they're still really strong. Now there are still a few bugs here and there. For example, if you move around with the camera too much, it will get stuck in your Titan, or if you'll just try to climb up a hill like I did at Fort, the camera will get stuck as well. That's a little bit buggy. I would love to see a first-person camera if Mod ever created it, because that would be amazing if you could see your Titan basically from inside. And also if you exit your Titan and try to fast travel, then your game will automatically crash, and that is not something that is fixed yet, but I think that the mod is working on it really hard and that he will fix it, because I think that this mod has a lot of potential. But even right now this mod is really amazing. It is one of my favorite new mods out there, and I'll definitely recommend it for anyone who played Titanfall, or even for the people who did not play it, because you know, ability to summon your own huge robot is always a plus, and I really do enjoy it. It's a nice original idea, and I do recommend this mod. Next up we have Vault 22 Flora Overhaul by Macintroll. Just like you can guess from the name, this mod basically overhauls the whole flora in Vault 22. Now in vanilla game, Vault 22 is pretty empty for the fact that the plants took over it, and so the modder decided to change that and improved it by adding tons of new flora, plants, mushrooms and stuff like that into the vault. As you can see now, the vault looks a lot more creepier, realistic, and I personally really do like it. The atmosphere is a little bit creepier, and also it just makes vault look a lot better, because you know, if it has more plants and more green to it, it just looks like it really looks like a plant that was took over by flora and not just like a wall that had a few overgrown, I don't know, plants or something like that. And I really do like the concept of this mod and the modder's idea to make it look a little bit more, you know, overthrown by flora, and the fact that he did not overdo it so that you can still move around it with ease without, you know, plants just bashing into your face, while still having a nice visuals that definitely look a lot better than the vanilla ones. Now some of these new plants, they do really look amazing. I especially like the creepy brain that you can find on, I think, on the 4th floor in the pest control, or some of the other plants in the floor 3, because those really looked amazing. And if you never played actually through Vault 22 quest, I would really recommend it to play through it now, because, or if you're planning a, you know, new playthrough, definitely go with this mod because it really gives the Vault 22 a new atmosphere, and I really recommend it if you're planning on doing the Vault 22 quest, or if you're just planning to, you know, replay the game, or you just want to take a nice trip to Vault 22, then I definitely recommend this mod because it is lore friendly and really amazing, because the flora now looks a lot better. You can see a lot more, you know, plants, moss, mushrooms and stuff like that hanging around, and it really looks amazing. And you know, you just have to try it in your game, because the video itself may not look as amazing as it really looks when you try it in your game, because especially the atmosphere is a lot better, and just the general feeling of Vault 22 is now a lot better. So definitely recommend this mod for anyone who wants to take another trip into Vault 22. Moving on, we have an armor mod called Shades 11 Warrior Armor by Whiteshades. Now this is type of armor I don't usually review, but this time I had to make an exception because this armor really does look amazing, and it is an amazing piece of work. So for you to obtain this armor, you will need to craft it at workbench by using 1 reinforced leather armor and 1 gecko hide. Now this armor offers 15 damage threshold and gives 5 unarmed damage, plus 10 sneak and plus 5 critical damage. It also has a stealth field of 65, but only when you are out of combat. You will also need T6M body for it to work, and you will also need the compatible skeleton. Now like I mentioned, this is not the usual type of armor I review, and I know that this armor is a little bit skimpy, but the parts that are actually not exposed do look very good. As you can see, the textures are HD, they are pretty detailed. And I especially enjoyed the plates, I think they are, you know, the steel plates on the hands. I really did like those, and I also like the katana on the back. The one thing I liked about it is that it did not really clip with any weapons I used, you know, so that it did not look really weird. And so that way it looked like I actually had 2 weapons on my back, and I really did enjoy it, because even if you use some HD textures, the katana will still look pretty good, because the armor itself is also HD and it has some nice details and the quality textures. The model is also not really bad. It really depends on your taste, if you want only lore friendly armors or if you don't really care and just want a quality armor, because the quality itself is really good. And I know it is not lore friendly, but if you don't care, you will like it just like I did. And I'm also glad that someone finally made an female armor for Fallout, because these type of armors are usually only made for Skyrim, and Fallout usually gets left out because not many people usually make armors for this game. They usually only make weapons, and that's another reason why I also took a look at this mod, because it is a female armor, which is rare in Fallout, and I also did really like it. The quality is nice, and I have to recommend this armor to anyone who likes female armors and doesn't really care about if they're lore friendly or not. Now let's take a look at weapon mods. The first one I have here is called KS-23 by Millenia, Angel 95 and Naky. As with all Millenia weapons, you can get it in Doug Mitchell's house. This time it is under his bookshelf. Now once again, Millenia and his team did an amazing job. The textures look HD, they are lore friendly, you can see a lot of scratches on them. You know, just the usual great job from Millenia and his team. The model looks great as well. It just looks like a usual, you know, grenade launcher. You can't change much about that one. And of course it comes with the custom sounds. It is also included in the leveled list, repair and vendor lists. Now this weapon also comes with one mod, long barrel, and this mod just does basically what it says. It increases the length of barrel. Now in combat, this gun basically works like a pump action shotgun that shoots grenades, so it is quite powerful. I would say it is one of the most powerful weapons Millenia has ever made, and I don't really think it is very overpowered. I mean, against enemies who have armor, it is not very great, but against guys like fiends or just the usual humans it is very effective. And one drawback though that makes it a little bit more balanced is that it only holds 3 rounds in a magazine, which makes it a little bit more balanced. And that is basically all I have to say about this weapon. It is once again an amazing job from Millenia, and I'm looking forward to his next work. Next up we have guitar case mods by clintmich. This mod adds miniguns that look like guitar cases into the game. This was probably inspired by the movie Desperado, where you can see this type of guns as well. Now you can find each one of these miniguns in different location. You can find the basic model and the flamer version behind the Nipton Hotel. You can find the Khan model behind the Great Khan Longhouse, the Killer model in Jacobstown Bungalow, Courier model behind Doug Mitchell's house, Leviathan model in Nelly's hangar, Mustah model at Boulder City Station, and Bill's model at Black Mountain Broadcast Building. Now I personally did not found the ones behind the Nipton Hotel. I'm not sure if there are 2 hotels in Nipton or they just did not spawn, but I simply did not found them. And I also did not show you the Nelly's hangar one because the Nelly's was bugged for me and I just crashed at any time I went near it. But other models do look amazing. Each one of them has a different motive. So for example, on Pill's model you can see psychos, while on the Khan model you can see some Khans on it. And I do have to say that this art on the cases looks really good, and I really like the fact that each one of them was very different and each one had a different style, you could say. Another thing I really liked about this is that whenever you pull one of these one out, they have a custom sound, just like for example Mysterious Magnum, and the sound always changes for each weapon. And I also like the general idea of this mod because I think it is really original, and it is not something I saw in Fallout before. Now in combat these weapons work just like miniguns. They are very strong but inaccurate and long ranges, and they will also burn through munition like it's nothing. Now what I would love to see is for these weapons to make it to the holdout list, because you know they basically look like usual guitar cases, and even though it would be a little bit overpowered to have a freaking minigun in a casino, but it would be kinda realistic because like I said, they look like a normal guitar cases, and so I think that there would be no problem with taking them into casino. But even without that, these weapons do really look amazing, they work fine, and I especially like the fact that each one of them is a unique individual. So if you're looking for a mod like this one and you want a nice unique weapons, then this mod is definitely for you. And the last mod I have for you is called Tactical Flamer Revamp by Cheesy Foe, MrRadioactiv and Ebolate. This mod adds 4 new flamers into the game. Now all of these flamers were added into the game and were integrated into all the lists like vendor list, repair list. They were added mainly to fiends that use flamers, and only way to obtain them is to take them from fiends or to buy them from vendors. Now I personally did not found even a single flamer in vendors, but I found a few flamers in Vault 3. So if you just like me can't find any of these, just go to Vault 3 and there are bound to be few flamers there. But first thing you have to do is wait for 3 days in an empty indoor cell so that they will be added to the lists, you know. Now I also was unable to find all 4 types of them. I only found the 3. Actually the one thing that is funny is that I did not find the basic one, so I only have the variants, the urban green and the desert one. But there isn't really much difference between each other. The model is same, it's just the different textures. Now like I mentioned, they all come with custom textures and model. The textures are pretty good looking. The one thing I did not like very much is that they are a little bit too shiny, you know. They have a few scratches here and there, but they are a little bit too shiny, so some people may be bugged with this because, you know, the post-nuclear weapons should look a little bit more used, but we could say that they were newly manufactured at gun runners or something like that, so let's just ignore that. And the model looks great as well. It kinda doesn't look like a flamer, but you know, I don't really care about that because it still looks amazing. Now there are supposed to be 2 versions of these flamers, just the basic one and the second one with the laser and some kind of display on them, but I couldn't find these ones. I don't even know how to spawn them, so I unfortunately cannot show you these. I'm sorry for that, but you know, the difference is that those have a laser and also some sort of display that shows various important information about the weapon, but I unfortunately did not found those and I apologize for that. But even the basic versions I think look very good, and they In combat they worked fine as well, just like the usual flamers, so you can just use them to roast people or just to do some barbecue or something like that. And that is basically all I have to say about this mod. The thing I mainly like about this mod is that it is integrated into the game itself, so it just fits right in and it is not just spawned into Doug Mitchell's house, just like most of the weapons are, and the visual of this weapon is great as well, and I definitely recommend it. And that is basically all for this episode, guys. The one thing I wanted to say is that I did not post any Skyrim mods weekly this week because I was ill, and maybe you can still hear that, so I'm sorry about that. And also there were so many mods for Fall that came in last 2 weeks that I'll be doing 2 episodes of Fallout New Vegas mods weekly this week. So you can expect another episode of Fallout New Vegas mods weekly very soon, and I'll also be doing the usual Skyrim mods weekly soon as well, and also one special video that I hope I will finish this week as well. So, and there will be also a Skyrim fan suggested episode of just usual Skyrim reviews, so there will be a lot of videos coming out this week and I'm looking forward to that. But like I said, I guess that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like if you did, tell me what you think about it in the comments, subscribe for more Fallout, Skyrim and Titanfall content, and I will see you next time.